Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Theingi from AIMS University, Malaysia. I'm here to present my topics on quality of life among elderly people residing at old age homes in northern Malaysia. So as per the WHO, aging population in many countries would have 30% of total population by the middle of the century, and it can become more, and it will become double by 2050. In Malaysia, old age is defined as those who are 60 years old and above. Malaysia can be regarded as aging nation since 7% of the population were elderly people in 2020. It will become double in 2044 and 20% increase by 2056. In next years, Malaysia may be transformed into aged nations. That's why special needs and challenges for aging population are nowadays prioritized by the government. Because of the advancement in the field of health, education, medicine, so there is an increasing number of healthy elderly people. Lack of family care, not having home or partner, low education, sedentary lifestyle, poor health, functional and cognitive impairments were contributing factors for institutionalized elderly. In Malaysia, homes are either run by the Department of Social Welfare, NGOs, or private sectors. All over the Malaysia, total of 1,473 homes, and increasing demands were noticed in the urban area. Quality of life is an individual's perception of their position in life in the context of culture and value systems, and compared to those who stay with their family, quality of life of elderly in old age homes were significantly poorer. Many of them were faced with poor access to healthcare, poor social participation, family negligence, and sleep disturbances. That's why it is important to help senior citizens to boost their self-worth to improve quality of life. With that, aim of our study was to determine quality of life of the elderly people residing in old age home and its associated factors. Our study was a cross-sectional, descriptive, and analytic study, and it has been carried out in 7 homes in Penang, Alostar, and Kuala Muda district. Total 83 respondents were involved in our study, and 2 researchers from our team had undergone training before we conduct our survey. The WHO QOL brief questionnaire was used to assess the quality of life, and it covers 4 domains: basically physical, psychological, social, and environmental domains. SPSS version 23 was used for data analysis. Pearson correlation and multiple logistic regression were used for detailed analysis. We conducted our study in accordance with the standard of Declaration of Helsinki, and we follow the standard set by Institutional Ethical Committee. Based on our results, total 83 respondents involved, and majority of them were females, Chinese, unmarried, and those with primary education. Those did not have caretakers, and those with underlying diseases. In this table, you can see the quality of life based on different domains. And the lowest score was noticed in the domain 3, which is social domains, and the highest score was noticed in domain 4, which is environmental domain. Highest score of environmental health was noticed in our study because most of the homes had nice gardens, and most of the residents got opportunity to involve in garden related activities, and they are more physically engaged. However, low score in the social domain was noticed in our study. Many inmates were abandoned by their families or relatives, and many of them could not catch up their loved ones. Compared to the study done in Kuala Lumpur, the score of each domain in our study was higher than their study because homes in Kedah State were more spacious and able to allocate a greater number of inmates and then better opportunity to have a better quality of life. By pairwise correlation analysis, it can be seen that each domain and another domain are positively correlated. Similar findings were seen in the previous studies. That's why well-balanced in physical, psychological, social, and environmental health were important to maintain better quality of life, and we need holistic approach to assess the quality of life. In this study, 59% of the respondents perceived themselves as poor quality of life, whereas 41% perceived as satisfactory quality of life. To improve services in the old age homes, area to be improved where financial, infrastructure, professionalism, collaboration, living arrangement, emotional, cultural, and psychological needs of the elderly people should be considered. In this study, determinants of physical health were gender, existing disability, role in decision-making in the family. Males show better quality of life than females, and our result corresponded with the result of the previous studies. Disability can affect the daily living activities of elderly, which in turn can affect the physical health. Shared decision-making could allow older people to feel that they are respected and understood. So if they are physically, psychologically fit, they are physically, they can be fit. Based on the findings, underlying NCD's existing disability, role in family decision were determinants of psychological domain. A study done by Sartorius highlighted that psychological symptoms can be associated to physical illness and distress occurred because of chronic diseases. If we try to manage the disease, then associated psychological problems can be disappeared. According to the research done by Ban et al., elderly people prefer to make decisions for themselves and also for others. This could enhance their self-confidence to cope up with the challenges. Findings show that income and role in family decision were determinants of social relationships. Income was identified as a determinant of health in the previous studies, and successful decision-making needed ability to understand the intentions, emotions, and beliefs of others. A person who had empathy could maintain better social relationships. In this study, determinants of environmental domain were gender, living condition, and BMI. Male respondents show better score than female in environmental domain. So this finding can support findings from the previous studies. Living condition was a determinant factors for environmental health based on the previous researches. The condition of toilets, bathroom, kitchen, dining area, sleeping condition, privacy, recreational place, everything should be considered to improve the quality of life. Higher BMI was associated to better quality in our study. Many studies indicated that those with lower BMI can be associated to better quality of health. However, according to the research done by Zieweiser et al., reverse finding was noticed in sick people. Weight loss can be associated to poor quality of health. Majority of our respondents have underlying diseases, and this might be an explanation for these findings. As a conclusion, findings from our study may only represent the voice of a few elderly residents in old age homes. Consideration of quality of life and associated factors are important in improving quality of life, and then evaluation of health and social welfare services. With that, I would like to say thanks to the respondents from elderly old age homes, the Ministry of Education for financing our study. These are my references. Thank you so much.